talked about the play you got from Ryan Perry. 10 tackles, 4 sacks. Definitely an All-American performance.
I think his whole year has been an All-American performance. I didn't realize his stats were like that. We don't check the stats on the sidelines much, but that is a great game. You know, he is closing in. You know, on possibly being named one of the top defensive player in the country. And the closer he gets to that goal, I think he has really picked it up here the last couple of weeks. He was wide open, you know, more driven in practice than I've ever seen him, and he played that way today. He is having a ball, and he's playing the game the way it's supposed to be played. We're really glad to have him on our football team for obvious reasons, but what a great example for the other guys on our football team. Sometimes it's more important to have someone for the younger players to emulate than great coaching or great recruiting. And he's one of those guys that our other young players should try to emulate the way he plays the game, the way he lives his life.
At what point during the week did you know Siller would be ready to go?
Well, we didn't. Obviously, on the first play, it was an indication that he wasn't. We were hoping that he would be. We thought that he would be able to run adequately enough to protect himself. That's why he has not been in the games the last couple of weeks. He's thrown in practice, and he's thrown well in practice. We didn't anticipate Rob Henry throwing much at all. He's really struggled to throw the ball. He doesn't give many good passes off consecutively in practice. We thought we might be able to complete a pass or two with him, you know, just to keep him honest, you know, on the other side of the ball, if you will. But he's struggling right now passing the football. And Siller's can't run, and obviously we have a freshman that's trying to get ready to play as well.
But ideally, did you want to go with Siller the whole way, or were you trying to prepare all three?
We had all three guys prepared, but we had a heck of a package, we thought, where we would have Siller in the game and play him and Rob Henry a lot early in the game to take some pressure off of Sean Robinson. He's made some progress, and he's doing a lot of good things in practice. He has a little bit of game experience, but obviously he's still not ready yet. He's a freshman that has a very limited amount of reps and a very limited amount of game experience. We've won with Justice Siller in the games before, and he's played in games. We've won with Rob Henry in the games before, and he's played some games. We thought those two guys would give us the best chance to win. We're playing mostly at the quarterback spot today. So yes, it was our plan to play those two guys a lot and together often early in the game. But that was negated on the first play with Siller went down. We didn't know. We didn't know. It's the same as the last 2 or 3 weeks. We get him out there to warm him up and see if he can run a little bit, and if he can run well enough to protect himself, and we want to play him in the game, and we thought he did. Run around in pregame a little bit better than he has in the past. So we took a shot at it. You know, but, it's been the same thing the last 2 or 3 weeks. We go out there with Rob Henry. You know, after the Ohio State game, we go out there with Rob Henry just to see if he can go. There's too much pain, too much tissue damage, so he couldn't go. After the Ohio State game, you know, and then the last couple of weeks we go out pregame and warm those guys up and see if they can. Number one, can sort of run. Number two, can Rob Henry handle the pain well enough to exchange the football? Do you have any chance to pass the football? We don't know until we get done warming up on Saturday. The last 2 or 3 Saturdays, today was no different. We thought that Justin would be able to run better than he did, and his foot would hold up better than it did, but obviously we were wrong. I think so. Check with the trainers. I'm assuming it would be. He didn't go very far with it.
Coach, can you talk about your defense today, being able to hold Denard Robinson in check a little bit under 100 yards? He had 2 interceptions he threw, also a fumble. So that's got to be one positive to take out of that performance.
There's a lot of positives to take out today, particularly on the defensive side of football. I think we have a heck of a defensive football team, but it has been a work in progress. We had a lot of unknowns, you know, early in the season. You can see those guys getting better every week, you know, every day in practice, every week in the games. You know, early in the season we had, 3 or 4 freshman defensive linemen out there playing that were just learning how to line up and get in the stance. You know, and as the season went on, they did a better job of coming out of their stances and taking on the offensive linemen and knocking them back some. And then as the season progressed, they did a better job of knocking them back some and taking care of their gap integrity. You know, so you can see these things happen throughout the course of the year. We've got better and better. We're very, very talented secondary, even though we're young in the secondary. It's a very talented secondary. And as the season's progressed, we've ended up with a pretty good secondary, a pretty good defensive front, pretty darn good at linebacker, and the result, we're a good defensive football team right now.
Coach, do you?
The problem is the exchange of practice with
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just asking if you felt the clock ticking towards the end of the season, bowl eligibility. You're running out of options in a sense.
Well, we have 2 games left, obviously, so we still have 2 options, 2 games we have to win. But we went into this game, realizing that a win today would impact our season. And the same thing with last weekend. We're handcuffed a little bit. We're struggling some offensively, but hats off to our guys. They keep coming out there on Saturday, believing they can win and playing their hearts out. And they're a lot of fun to coach and a lot of fun to be around. And they play some inspired football. I'm very proud of them. It's just unfortunate we can't manufacture more offense right now, but we'll do some things to give us a chance to win this Saturday.
How has Rob been handling exchange in practice?
We've been pretty good a little bit that he's gotten. We haven't got him a whole lot of snaps under center to take some of the pounding off of it. It's almost all been shotgun work. But he's a great ball carrier. You can see him early in the game, the speed that he brings to the field. I thought that he'd be one of the more talented guys on the field when he was out there. It's just as the game goes on, they start loading the box up and manufacturing the run becomes more difficult. So it's difficult at times.
Coach, when you're shuffling quarterbacks like that, how hard is it for your offense to find a rhythm with the different guys taking snaps?
It's tough. That part of it's really tough, but the whole season offensively has been that way. We went through the first half of the season, didn't have hardly any running backs. We had to shuffle guys around to try to manufacture some running backs. And then we started the season off believing we had the deepest, most talented group of wide receivers that we've had around here maybe in a decade or so. And we got depleted, numbers-wise with some of our top skill guys at the receiver position, and then the same thing has happened at the quarterback spot. So it's been that way all season long in all 3 phases of our offense, personnel-wise. Receivers, quarterbacks, and running backs. So thank goodness our offensive line has held up pretty good throughout the course of the season. But it is hard to get continuity. We're trying to work 3 quarterbacks at one time, but that's been a struggle all season long as a result of injuries to key personnel.
He's got to have 8 or 9, maybe 10 sacks against Michigan in his career. Have you ever seen dominance in a career from a single guy like that?
Well, I don't know about his stats, stacking up against Michigan or any particular team, but he just plays his heart out every snap. Every day, NFL scouts come to practice and they watch him and they like him, and then they watch film on him all day long. And after they watch the whole season, they like him even more because they realize he's got a great motor, a relentless effort. He's a very unselfish player. He plays for the team first, plays an inspired football. He's a great player. He certainly deserves all the accolades and the attention that he's getting right now. He is definitely one of the best defensive players in the country.
But is getting to a bowl contingent on the success of the season? You base your success on whether or not you get to a bowl game?
Well, no, because there's a lot of work that goes into it, and obviously postseason play is your reward. But there's a lot of other great things that's happened out there throughout the course of the season. That's a great sign for our football team and our football program. Obviously, postseason plays is what we want, but there's a lot of great things that are happening out there. The guys are playing their hearts out, playing to win, and in spite of all odds. So those are important. Those things are very important to our program as well.
Anything else?
Have you ever been involved in a game like this with so many turnovers, someone who's just going back and forth all the time? Can you think of any other time you've had an experience?
Over the years, we've had some crazy games. I talked with Bernie Flowers the other night. He was telling me that they played a game against Notre Dame when he played here. They said they had 11 fumbles just on one side of the ball. So I don't think we've set any records yet as far as a sudden change. But it was a crazy game today. When you play good defense, that happens. And it was wet out there today. They've turned the ball over some. They're ranked in the bottom, I believe, probably 10 or 15% in regards to turnover margin on a national level. Check the stats. I'm not that far off. So we knew coming into the game they were going to put the ball on the ground some today, and we'd accrue some takeaways. We knew that going in. We needed to manufacture more Haywood offense, obviously.
Is that it?
All right, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.